This is my Japan population case study, and in this video I'll develop a population policy to deal with the current and future areas of concern in Japan. The major population issue in Japan suggests a serious problem for the overall future development of Japan and its people. As of now, being the third largest in its economy, it is becoming more and more disturbed by the increasing aging population along with the declining fertility rate, where over 20% of the total population is over the age of 65, where it is estimated by the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, that just the aging population could decrease Japan's annual GDP by 1% in the next 3 decades. In this graph, it shows the crude birth rate, which shows Japan's birth rate has always been unstable. It shows that it is rising steadily until 1864, when it began to decline sharply and reached 23.1 in 1873. At that time, Japan was in the midst of a war. The economic development of the country was very unstable, and it was forced to sign unequal treaties with Western powers and countries in the following years. The increase and decrease of our birth rate was also not that obvious until 1904, where Japan and Russia had a war, which led to a sharp decline in the birth rate, where in 1945, 2 atomic bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, killing tens and thousands of people just after World War II. And Japan's population rose very fast afterwards, where Japan thought that they couldn't control the birth rate, where they could face a big problem due to overpopulation. So Japan launched a contraception nationwide. After a few years, Japan realized the birth rate in their country is too low. In order to increase the birth rate, Japan implemented a subsidy policy. This policy has raised the birth rate of our country to 18.9 in recent years, but the birth rate has been declining ever since, and it reached 8.17 in 2015. If the birth rate continues to decline in this way, the aging population in our country will be a very serious problem where the economy will be hugely affected. The crude death rate, as seen in this graph, has been steady, but it suddenly started to increase during the 1990s because of the increase of suicide and death rate in different occupations. In particular, the death rate in management and professional positions has increased by 70%, where leading to the low death rate of the increasing numbers of the aging population. The birth rate is very low, so this undoubtedly aggravates the problem of the aging population and also leads to a low high density ratio. You can see that as Japan gets more and more developed, their life expectancy gets higher and higher until 2018, where the life expectancy was at 84.2, which made Japan more and more worried because they already had 27% of the overpopulation of Japan, which is the age above 65 or at 65. So Japan has noticed that the aging population will become more and more serious, and this will probably impact their economy in the future. From the 1800s to now, you can see that Japan's fertility rate has gone up and down, but dramatically decreasing along the way. But now Japan's fertility rate being one of the lowest in the world, it's at 1.42. This is the record of 2018. The infant mortality rate shown on this graph is from 1920 to 2015, and it's clear that the mortality rate is just gone down and reaching 2.67 in 2018. From these three population pyramids of Japan, you can see that it has changed from a stage 2 to a stage 4 or 5, and you can clearly see the aging population problem and the decreasing birth rate problem. This is another example of the population distribution map of Japan 2015 and Japan 2045. Now knowing the population issues being the aging population and low birth rate, Now I come up with the proposal of the multi-point population plan for Japan. First being encouraging males to take some of the family's responsibilities, encouraging immigration, and to raise the age of retirement. But I think men should have mandatory leave to go home and take care of their own children. And during the period, if both husband and wife apply for leave, I think every month they should get their salary, but only 70, 60 to 65% of their normal salary. And the money will be distributed by the government to the company so the husband and wife can have sources of income to support their own family. Encouraging immigration. This will promote Japan's social interactions with other countries, and betterment for their economy, and get more people into Japan to try to bring the population up and to try to bring birth and fertility rate up. Lastly, to raise the age of retirement. The retirement age in Japan right now is 60 years old. Due to the large amount of elderly people in Japan, the total number of pensions to be paid is very high, so I suggest the male and female retirement age should be the same, which is 70 years old. Therefore, encourage female workers to work because female has a higher life expectancy than male. These are my citations. Thank you for watching.